Здравствуй, привет, мой друг. Меня зовут Horath Drak, and we are playing Europa Universalis IV together with the new Immersion Pack DLC, Third Rome. Paradox has been so kind and has given me a pre-release code free of charge for the DLC. It is going to come out on the 14th of June. It's going to cost $9.99, and it is going to center on Russia, the Third Rome, giving the nations in the Russian area and also Orthodox nations new mechanics and new stuff to do, more immersion. So these immersion packs seem to be less than a proper expansion DLC. These, I guess, are priced at around $20, and they seem to be more than the normal sprite packs. There are sprites in this, but there are also unique mechanics. Now, I've decided to actually pick a very interesting person for this series. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter series as well, although I haven't really set an end date for this, but I definitely have a start date, and then we'll see how it goes. If the interest is great, then I'm gonna continue. Then I could theoretically continue this up to a very high episode count. But I sort of like the idea of doing more smaller miniseries, like the Japan series that I just very recently did with the Takeda clan. So I'm gonna try to pick people, nations at interesting times or that did interesting things. And we're going to play a very interesting man. We're going to play Tsar Ivan IV Grozny, which you can translate as terrible. Ivan the Terrible is a household name. You could also translate it as fearsome, striking the fear in enemies and his own population alike. He is a mixed character, or I guess he's actually thoroughly unsavory. He beat his pregnant daughter-in-law, and she miscarried, which enraged his son. His son was confronting him, so he killed his son as well. So I guess he was prone to fits of rage. But he did some very interesting things during his reign. He basically created a second state inside the state. And was actually breaking the power of the very powerful Russian nobles, the boyars. And there's a bit of a weird thing going on in EU4 with him, because he's actually too old. Now he has an age of 1,561, which can never be. But once we start in, you'll actually see that he's too old. I have selected his coronation date, 16th of January, 1547. He should be 17 years old. He was born in 1530, and then he was actually he became Grand Prince of Muscovy at the age of 3 when his father died of blood poisoning. And then his mother died when he was 8, and then until he was 17 and could actually take over the reins, there were ruling councils of the boyars that were rivaling each other. It must have been mayhem, actually. I think I read somewhere that he said he had at times not enough clothing, not enough to eat, so that must be a very troubled childhood. And at this date he was coronated not only as properly coronated as not only the Grand Prince of Muscovy, but also as the Tsar of all Russias, which is interesting because he took that title to make sure that that he had the claim on all the area and that he could sort of properly put down the boyars, show them their station, and he's the first one to do so, really, to call himself Tsar of Russia. That's why he went down in history as the first Tsar. And there's a very interesting time, very interesting situation for Russia at the time. So you have Crimea down here, you have Kazan, you have Astrakhan, you have all these eastern hordes that are threatening Russia, and that Ivan the Terrible actually brought to heel. He led some very successful campaigns in the east, establishing all this area. He sent Cossacks to Siberia, actually subjugating these guys. He led a not-so-successful campaign to try and get Livonia over here. That failed pretty much. It's interesting that Denmark isn't actually represented with its own holdings in the area, because they actually should have some, but during the reign of Ivan the Terrible, Denmark completely lost its holdings in the area. We saw the creation of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth during his reign, and yeah, that campaign went completely to shit. So that was pretty bad. So now, without me waffling on further, we're just gonna go into the game. As for options, we're gonna go for very hard because that's how I like to roll on this channel. We're gonna have lucky nation set to historical. It's gonna be interesting. I think Poland is gonna be a lucky nation. We're going to have to contend with a very strong Ottoman Empire down to the south. That's going to be supremely interesting how we can counter that. I have turned off the limit on idea groups, so we could theoretically pick all military idea groups. I just find it weird that that would be something that the game enforces, so I turn it off because that's how I like it. Right, so very hard, bonuses to the AI, historical lucky nations, Russia, let's jump in. We're going to play normal mode, just for recording reasons, so if the recording goes bad, or I have a corrupted save file, which can happen. There have been corrupted Iron Man saves even, one of the last patches, so I kind of feel vindicated doing this. Right, so we're in here, we actually got a fairly big army. I think I should go through the new features first. Actually, yeah, you can see that he's 34, which shouldn't be the case. He should be 17. They took his inauguration date, I guess, as his birth date, but he was inaugurated at 3 years. 3 years age, so something is wrong here. So he has obsessive perfectionist, which increases construction costs, and he's benevolent. Something's not right here. Yeah, I mean, oh well. Who am I to argue? This guy is the one that started the massacre of Novgorod, where he killed thousands and thousands of the inhabitants of the city. The thing that really basically broke the power of Novgorod. There were weeks where they were killing hundreds and hundreds of the Novgorodians every day. I'm sure he's a very benevolent man. Right, so some of the new mechanics, I'm just going to go through them very, very quickly. So we have this. This is the main new feature. So we have 3 things that we can do. We're going to acquire points depending on the monarch skill of our guy in each category. So we have admin, we have diplo, and we have military. And once these fill to 100, we can basically click the button, and then we're going to gain certain things. If we click the admin button, we're going to reform Sudebnik, which is a set of laws. And apparently we're reforming the law codex to benefit us, which reduces the economy by local autonomy by -10, which is pretty nice. We can gather we can support the Oprichnina, which is basically the second state that Ivan the Terrible created to break the power of the boyars. And all the guys that lived in the second state were basically under his absolute direct rule. So they had no longer inherited their titles from their predecessors. Instead, they were loyal to Ivan the Terrible. And he used these guys to bring down the boyars, because he was pushing normal nobles off the Oprichnina land, and that led to lots of people dying, because they were basically driven out of these lands even in the midst of winter, leaving only the loyal people in these Oprichnina lands. The boyars were governing the rest of the land. Well, yeah, that certainly led to some turmoil, and in the end to the strengthening of the reign of the Tsars. So we can do this to reduce the strength of the rebel factions by 30%. I mean, that seems to be more situational to me. I'm not sure how often we're going to use that. I was actually expecting this Oprichnina thing to be a much bigger feature. I mean, I haven't seen the new historical events and stuff, but I would have liked to actually have something that incorporates this more. I mean, this cannot be underestimated, the actual impact of this thing. I would actually liken it to Versailles, the French Versailles, as sort of means to curb the power of the nobility, which was a constant conflict during this whole time. The nobility trying to hold on to their hereditary rights, and the kings and emperors trying to pull more and more power into their hands and to sort of centralize the government, take out their powerful nobles, because they were creating problems for them. I mean, if you have someone who says, God has given me the right to rule this area, you are a king, I accept you, but I still am going to do what I want, that is going to create problems. And the third button that we can push is the most interesting for me. We can raise Streltsy, which is, you can translate it as shooters. So these guys were also created by Ivan the Terrible, actually, to support the Russian cavalry. And these guys had arquebuses and this sort of halberd thing that you can see. They used that to stabilize their arquebus. These guys were originally merchants and free citizens of the cities, and in later times, they would become very powerful. They had certain rights, and they were often involved in peasant revolts against the state, or at least the poorer Streltsy. The richer Streltsy were sort of on the side of the government because they had the privileges and were living the good life. But the poorer Streltsy, the position inside the Streltsy was actually hereditary. So yeah. That led to all kinds of problems because you sometimes didn't have proper candidates to fill positions and all that kind of stuff. But at this time, there was still a force that strengthened the power of the Tsar. So if you click that button, we're going to get a 19 Streltsy regiments in our capital. They're going to arrive at full strength. We don't have to pay any recruitment costs for them, but then they will just be normal regiments basically that draw from our manpower pool and cost us money and all that. But it is a pretty nice way of getting a lot of troops very quickly. This is the holy hell, shit really hit the fan button. So we're going to try to save this power. We'll be able to save 150 of the power. At a certain point we actually have to push the button then, but I guess this is fine. I don't really have a problem with these guys. And they do get a 10% firearms damage bonus. So that's also pretty nice. Right, so that's the one thing. And then the second really big new feature is something linked to the Orthodox faith. So we can invest 10 patriarchal authority to create some icons. Now, there are different icons over here. We can see that we have military ones, icon of Saint Michael. We have internal ones, reducing national unrest or reducing construction costs and all that. And these have a certain time that they're active. I think 20 years is how long they're active. And we can basically decide if we want to strengthen the patriarchy, or the Orthodox Patriarch in the long term, or if we want to go for short-term gain. And to help us gain more patriarchal authority, which was kind of annoying to gain in the past, I've played a Novgorod game way back in the beginning days of the channel, and I had, I think, like 3 actual events that helped me increase the patriarchal authority. Was ridiculous. So what you can do now is you can actually consecrate metropolitans in states that you completely control. For example, here in Moscow, I could consecrate the metropolitan in states with 30 development if all provinces are Orthodox and of an accepted culture. So I can concentrate a metropolitan here. It's going to increase the state maintenance by 10%, which is not horrible. Like, I mean, it's still money, but I guess you're getting something back for it. And that would give us 5 patriarchal authorities. Do I have no metropolitans anywhere? Apparently not. Apparently not. No metropolitan. Yeah, these guys are too low in terms of development. Is there metropolitan map mode? Is there metropolitan map mode? Devastation, loot, institutions. Doesn't look like it. Oh yeah, there is. Nice! Okay, kudos to Paradox. Kudos to Paradox, I gotta say. This displays the states we have patriarchs, and yellow has a patriarch. Green can be assigned one, and red does not allow a patriarch. Very good. Very good. Kudos. The more map modes, the better, in my eyes. I'm going to play on this one, on the political map mode, because people have been unhappy with the terrain map mode that I've played in the past. I understand that. It's actually difficult to see how things are shaping up. So, do I really want to go for more metropolitans and go for my first icon? I don't think so. If I can avoid it. I mean, it's 10% upkeep. How's our money situation? We have a lot of money, 510. How do we get so much money with that kind of income? Alright. Something is not right here. Army maintenance is fine. We're paying way too much for that. We have fleet maintenance. Fort maintenance seems to be a bit of a problem. State maintenance. Yeah, I really don't want to push that further. What kind of things can we get here again? So manpower recovery speed is nice. We're actually pretty low on manpower at this point. 16k of the 62k that we have. National unrest, construction cost, improved relations, aggressive expansion impact is pretty nice. Institution embracement cost, institution spread. Kind of surprised that St. Basil isn't in there, since Ivan the Terrible actually built a cathedral to St. Basil after he won against the Khazans over here, or the Khazani. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go for any of that. We do have access to the Baltic over here. Apparently, we might even also be able to... Yeah, we might be able to make St. Petersburg the capital, which is interesting. We have a core in Neva. We are at peace. We're going to gain a bunch of base tax in Neva. More manpower in Neva. Culture in Neva will become Muscovite. We lose... crap ton of ducats. Neva will become the new capital. We gain 100 prestige, which is a lot. So it's going to take a long while for that to tick down. I mean, there's nothing against it, really. It's going to move our capital into a very important strategic position. Because we're controlling this trade node. How are we in terms of trade? We have one guy collecting trade in the White Sea. We have one guy pushing from Kazan. We do have some influence in Kazan. We're not doing anything in Kiev. Oh no, right. Yeah, no, we're pushing from Kiev. We have no merchant in here in Novgorod. This is where we're collecting. This is our home trade port. I think I like the current arrangement. I mean, if we had more people, we could actually push more from the east. Suck some of the trade down here up. You can see that Constantinople has 18 in there. Nearly 19. That's some nice money. Wonder how we can get a share of that. Collecting in here. I mean, we're collecting 1.11, I guess, because we have basically all the provinces in the area. Right. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. I definitely have to do something about the money situation. Now, the thing is that we actually have some gold in the east. That's gold over here, which we gotta take. Colonization has been changed for the Russians. We can now have a Siberian Frontier. So if we wanted to, we could go for this. We could establish a Siberian Frontier with a cost of 20 diplo power. This will create a colony that will slowly grow without the need for a colonist nor any colonial maintenance, which is pretty nifty, I gotta say. We can still be attacked by the natives and all. And we actually should set a native policy. So let's see how that goes. So native coexistence policy, adopting a live and let live attitude towards natives, which will decrease the chance of native uprisings, seems to me like the best idea. Because we're not paying anything for this. We're not paying any colonial maintenance, so I guess we really don't care. So I guess I'm gonna set a policy where people do not uprise, and we'll just start colonizing this area. Now, in terms of our strategic goals, we definitely have to break the power of the hordes. And the problem is that some of these guys, yeah, all of these guys are actually Muslim nations, which means Yeah, there it is. These guys are a march of the Ottomans. So whenever we want to do anything against Crimea, we're gonna have to fight the Ottomans, which is gonna be a nasty thing. I'm not looking forward to that. And we can try to lure them up into... Oh, that's new. That green thing that actually shows your nation. I like it. Very good. So we have 73k. We're not... I mean, pretty big. Pretty big in terms of military power, right? The Ottomans are substantially bigger, though. I have more artillery, but not by a huge margin. The main thing is that they have a crap ton more infantry. Right, well, we've got to deal with it when it comes to it. I definitely want to break that. I want to go down here to Crimea and basically cut this off. I might not push into the Ottoman Empire proper. I might just stay here and be content with staying in this area. Well, we definitely got to take all this area. That's what I want. And we also have Sibir over here. These guys are threatened. We might possibly be able to actually vassalize these guys. Economic base compared to Siberian. I mean, that's what they historically did, right? They historically went for... they sent Cossacks in there and tried to convince the ruling families that they should swear fealty to Russia. And then at some point, they were attacked by the ruling dynasty of Sibir, but then they could just reinforce the Cossack troops. Actually, they sent a laughable small Cossack force in there, like 500 men or something. Which, to put it in perspective, Ivan the Terrible actually marched with 150,000 men against Kazan. So, that is that. Become their tributary... yeah. We do not allow royal marriages with other religion groups. I'm not sure if I really want to go for this. I mean, I could just attack them. Oh yeah, one thing that I should talk about that's actually pretty nice. We can actually fabricate a claim on an area. We gotta have it's costing more than the fabricate claim thing, but it will allow us to get a claim on a big area and actually make some substantial gains. Which I like, to be sure. Royal marriage. Can we overcome that? I mean, 23 versus 112. They're already threatened, so we're already enjoying a positive attitude there. Siberian government rank, Russian military power compared to Siberian. Really? How many troops do you guys have? How many troops does Siberia have? Let's just go alphabetically. Siberia, 18,000. Well, that's sizable. Well, they really shouldn't be able to stand against me. What are our missions? Subjugate Kazan, subjugate the Crimea. Yes, that's what I want. It is time for the Third Rome to show them who's boss. Crimean Tatars have been allowed to rampage on the steppes for too long. It is time for the Third Rome to show them who's boss. I mean, if I can pull off a day one declaration of war, these guys will not be able to really pull in any allies. I guess that's the winning move here. At some point, once we engulf Siberia, we might still be able to move against them. They are threatened. The problem is that we'll never be able to get that royal marriage boost with them, because they are Sunni, so vassalization is unlikely. I think I'm not going to go for an alliance with Sibir and run the risk of these guys actually throwing their troops inside into this conflict. Now, what I'm going to do... Metropolitan... How many troops does Kazan have? Let's just have a look. Well, Kazan has 27k. I really should be able to just fight them down without any additional bonuses or problems or the like. Army of Poland, Army of Finland. Right. How are my estates? I mean, we've been brought up by a regency council of warring boyars. And they're really annoying buggers. So we are mistrustful of them, and I'm going to play the character like that. I'm going to try to do that, but what we really could do is we could use a generalship. It's going to push up the influence to 65%. Oh, how is our military tradition? Military tactics, yeah, army tradition is 17. That's not good. That's not good. Although we do have to, oh yeah, Pyotr Shysky is actually, that was a Roman, Russian boyar that did a lot against the Kazanis, but then later he was actually, he got his power taken away because he was on the wrong side of the fence. Okay, good. I don't actually have to recruit any new guys. Okay, so we're gonna have you, and we're gonna have Kazimovsky, which I think was later a leader of the over here of the Oprichnina nobles. Okay, so we got these guys. I think I'm just gonna declare war on day 1 against Kazan. So let's go ahead, subjugate Kazan. We gotta do that. Kazan does not exist. Yeah, I mean, we have no choice. We gotta do this. We gotta go after Kazan. There's no other way that we will actually have any fun here, because once the Ottomans actually get going, they will be guaranteeing in this area. They're gonna be meddling all around, and that's gonna be super annoying. So I guess I'm just gonna take the chance of snagging up that territory. That's what we're gonna do. Subjugate Kazan. This should give us a CB. It does indeed. Oh, that's just claims on this area. It must belong to Mother Russia. What does it want? Owned by Russia or its subjects. Okay, so I can either directly take those areas, or I can just make them a tributary. Yeah, I basically have claims on all this area. We'll see actually if it might not be better to not have a Muslim vassal and just take that territory for ourselves, I think. But yeah, we definitely gotta declare war like right now. What? What? Why? Just give me a reason, please. I don't get it. I guess they put that in to stop day 1 wars, but that is frustrating to say the least. That is frustrating. Well, I'm gonna use the time to actually move my troops into border countries. We have a very small vassal over here, the Kazim Khanate. We're gonna incorporate them into our country at some point. Not now though. So we're gonna move you over. We're gonna move you over to Moscow, I guess. We're gonna bring our troops into position. Now, in terms of stuff. Oh, Poland actually likes me. Poland likes me. I mean, that actually makes my life a lot easier. That would make my life a lot easier, especially against the Ottomans. I think that's what we're gonna do. I like it. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. We're gonna have Poland as an ally, at least for now. Sweden is also willing. Must wait a day until you can send another offer. I guess that's fine. Austria would also be willing to accept, which is gonna create problems between Poland and me. We're actually dealing with a fairly strong Austria over here. Allied with Bavaria and Spain. I guess they are already historical alliances. France is allied with no one. They're not interested though, because I guess we're too far. And I think even Austria would be... they might actually come in very handy against the Ottomans, but the question is, will I be able to balance Poland versus Austria? I don't think so. And I think Poland is actually currently more useful. I'm going to concentrate on the east, take all that area for myself, and then we'll actually see how useful Poland is going to be. So let's just unpause the game now. Poland accepted our offer into a military alliance. Now, can I do that? No. Yeah, they're no longer willing to do anything there. Who are the world's great powers? Are we a great power? Yeah, we are actually. From the get-go. I've never played a game like that, which is interesting. Ottomans are a problem, and they're already rivaling us, so we might actually rival them back. So, rival... What are you doing? What are you doing? Moldavia, Ragusa, Transylvania, Wallachia, and Dongola. Crimea, Algiers, and Tripoli. I mean, these guys are the biggest brute in the area, even bigger than we are, which is a problem. Looks like we actually might want to change our unit types. Really? Pike infantry? I mean, okay. At least that alert is gone. Yeah, I mean, let's go for Ottomans. And let's go for Denmark. Let's just rival the people back that we already rivaled. And then I don't know. I mean, Poland would be an obvious choice, and actually rivaling Austria then, rivaling them, pulling off an alliance with Austria, crushing Poland between us. But I can still stay for a later point. That's just, I mean, royal marriage might actually still allow us to pull this off. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it and maybe straddle the fence. Maybe straddle the fence there. Okay, we're at risk of becoming the junior partner in a personal union. I wonder why we would ever actually give Denmark something. Do they have... No, they definitely don't have the same dynasty, right? Okay, I guess they're just going to be invited to contend. I'm going to improve the relations with them. Try to actually make something happen in that direction. And I guess I got to do it before I declare war. What else do we have? Declaration of Indulgence. Stability cost for more heretics thing. I don't want that. Missionary strength just for nothing. That's fine. Tolerance of heretics. No. That is something that we're going to do later. Establish the Russian Patriarchate. Cost of reducing war exhaustion minus 20%. Yes, why not? Okay. I'm just going to do that. That looks fine. And St. Petersburg being the capital is actually a great idea, but I guess I can't really do that right now. We're losing some money. We can humiliate our rivals. Yeah, I really would like to swing an alliance with Austria sooner. I mean, we have allied to rival. Yeah, we have no... Tell you what, we're actually gonna make France one of our rivals to try and suck up to Austria. That should do it. That should do it. Come on, enemy of enemy. Protestantism is entrenched. With Protestantism taking over more and more Catholic countries, there are fewer people who observe Lent. Okay, so the price of fish is falling because people no longer care about the fasting on Friday. That's alright. And on Lent, I guess. These guys still have not picked up an ally. I kind of... guess I gotta improve relations. Is there anything else that I can do? They're gonna give me access. That doesn't really help our relations. Are they not a great power? They are not. They are not. I really would like to pick up this alliance before I move on Kazan. Because that is gonna reduce the aggressive expansion impact and all that. That is expensive. That is expensive as hell. No, I guess I shouldn't really. I mean, even a gift might be more... Even a gift might be cheaper. That 81 versus 82. I mean, one diplomat should actually be able to, yeah, make that happen nearly instantly. Now, all we gotta do is wait until March. We definitely have to improve relations with Poland because these guys are going to be pissed as soon as we actually start an alliance with their hated rival. But I think that is, I mean, that's always the thing that you have with international politics. You got to straddle the fence, and no one's really your friend. That's just not how this works. The only thing that you have is temporary allies that you're using for one goal or another. That's just how it goes. I'm going to wait until the 7th of April to actually get a royal marriage with Poland before they end this thing. We have no diplomats to send? Oh, come on. Come on. Couple more days. Couple more days. Come on. Okay, royal marriage. So now in terms of alliances, we're fairly safe. These guys still have not picked up any alliances. I guess I gotta actually end the episode here. I've already gone over the 30 minutes that I'm looking for in these series. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here. We're gonna continue this in the next episode. We're gonna go towards Kazan. Oh, and we have an alliance breaking. Okay, so Poland is actually not happy about this whole thing. Russia gets Commedia dell'arte. More prestige or lose prestige. Prestige could actually help us win some war, so let's go for it. I think it's fine. Alliance breaking. I mean, that's a problem. It's definitely a problem. I don't think I can do anything there. I mean, I could offer them military access, which they might like. Well, yeah, I guess I'm gonna deal with that problem in the next episode. So for now, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you didn't, tell me why in the comments so I can improve. And if you want to see more of the series in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. The speed of the series is definitely gonna pick up in the future. I just had to go through all the new things and all that kind of stuff and do the initial setup. I'm gonna do my best to actually push up the pace in the upcoming episodes. So I hope you join me for those. Thanks. Bye-bye.